I can hold off on that. It's not due until the end of May.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. Hope you guys are having a great day today. It is beautiful out. The sun is shining. The little storm that we had yesterday didn't maybe hit us here in Elk Grove for about 10 minutes. We got some big, giant hail that came down, but otherwise than that, everything is good. Today looks great. Today is actually a Friday, the 21st of April. And April is just flying by, man. Check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us a call at 847-769-8609. As you can see, we had Laura, my co-host yesterday, my wife, talking about the new studio, which we're moving into. I'm thinking about another week. We will have finally the brand new Ocean's Pit studio, so I'm excited about that. We got a great show for you guys today. First of all, check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, and give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. And we got a lot of good things to talk about today. First of all, we got my good buddy Marty Hitzman on. Marty, of course, is a great guitar player with a band for many years called Mistaken Identity. And he's also in my new band, our band called Mojo's Jukebox. We'll talk about his career in Mistaken Identity. We'll talk about our cruise coming up in January and a lot more stuff going on. But before we do that, it's time for our sponsors. Yep, that's right. Ace Hardware, folks. Norridge, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, in Warrenville. Remember, they got some great things there. Buy local and shop local with Ace Hardware. That's Raffaello and Jackie do a great job. Ace Points, so much more stuff going on. But what's important right now, folks, with spring in the air, we need you to remember one thing. Grill your ace off. That's right. Grill your ace off. And if you mention Grill Your Ace Off at any four of these locations, you're going to get $20 off any grill purchase. That's right, $20 off any grill purchase for Ace Hardware. Remember, they've been helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. That's Ace Hardware. More to come with them, folks. All right, last night, wow, about 150 reservations at Positano's in Oak Brook. What a night, man. Everybody, I just can't begin to thank everybody that showed up last night. Great seeing Sal and the boys. Russ and everybody, thank you so much. Joey Spins and Cindy, Dave and Pam, of course. Louis Pipes, great job singing some songs. Louis, thank you so much. You and Dana, and a beautiful gift that you guys gave me. I was completely took off guard with this gift. I seen when I walked in, I gave my bag to Jerry. Jerry Jams, great job last night. Lisa P., an incredible vocalist. She was fantastic last night. Anyway, so I think this brown box like sitting there, and I didn't really know what it was. I thought maybe it was Lisa's or Jerry's. I didn't think anything of it. And then Lou came up to me before I went on and said, listen, thank you for being a good friend and getting me some singing jobs and stuff like that. And it was a Jack Daniels or a whiskey decanter, excuse me, that said Jilly's on it. And music and Tony Ocean rocks glasses, and it came with ice. Those little, rock ice cubes and stuff. It was just fantastic. So Dana and Lou, thank you again so much. So Positanos, thank you, Frank and Bill. What a great job. Tonight, folks, will be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse with Jerry Jams. It's an 8 o'clock hit. Saturday, we'll be at Taverna on Division. Looks like we're going to be outside on that patio with Tony Toto. It's the number one patio, voted the number one outside patio in the suburbs of Chicago. That's Saturday night. And Sunday, about 450, 500 tickets sold at the Des Plaines Theater for St. Jude's benefit. I'm excited to be part of it again with Nick Sahajas and the big band. It's going to be great. There's probably about 10 acts. So it's a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. Jimmy Parker from Nashville. It's going to be Regina Karma. It's going to be great. The Chicago Hitmen. That's Nick's new band. I'll be doing two songs called The Flame, of course, by Cheap Trick. And we'll also be doing Leave Your Hat On by Joe Cocker. So it's a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. It's this Sunday, the 23rd. So please, please oshows.com for tickets. All right, folks, hot off the presses from Ace Hardware. Thank you, Laura, for this. We are grilling at all four stores starting Saturday, April 22nd from 11 to 2. That's tomorrow, folks. Saturday, you go out to either Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, or Warrenville. They'll be doing some free grilling, free burgers, free stuff. Go over there, check out what those grills are like. It's Ace Hardware, man. You can't go wrong with that. All right, Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Anyway, so Sunday, oshows.com. It's going to be a lot of fun. Next Wednesday, we'll be at Rosario's in Roselle with my good buddy Angel Coramanto from Italy, folks. He's an incredible vocalist. I don't know how many billions of views he's got on his Instagram page. What a voice. He'll be with me along with Tony Toto next Wednesday. Donnie G's next Thursday. Now, next Saturday, folks, we are at the Lyric Theater in Blue Island with Ocean's Rat Pack. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then next Sunday, 2 Sundays in a row, April 30th, we'll be at the Des Plaines Theater with Ocean's Rat Pack. It's going to be the tribute to Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. Tickets are going great. The great Jerry Jams will be helping us there. Also, special guest Vince Amore doing a special tribute to Tony Bennett. And opening the show is my good buddy from the old Chicago Rack Pack, my good buddy Jack D'Amico. Oshows.com. That's going to be April 30th. A lot of good stuff. All right, let's say hello to some people here. That's good. Carol, Ryan Lewis. Hi, buddy. My good pal Ryan. Susan, Patrice. How you doing? Helen. We got Santa Barbara, California. We got New York. We got New Jersey. Donnie Drama. Susan. Hello, the closer. Hey, Tony Toto. Hope you're doing. Hope your mom had a nice birthday, Tony Toto. And Pina's mom and Tony's mom. Happy birthday to your mom, buddy. I hope you had a good one. All right, Mary's booked. It's good, folks. It's a lot of fun. Now, speaking of book, let's get right to it. I'm going to paint this picture for you. It's January 2024. It's damn cold in the city of Chicago. So I'm going to put this out to you. And you've already seen it already. We sold 100, the Tony Ocean fans, the people that are coming on board, already sold 150 beds, 150 rooms already, just with the Tony Ocean show. So I'm excited. Now, you know it's happening January 7th to January 14th. We're talking about the Royal Caribbean, the Wonders of the Sea, the biggest cruise ship on the water right now. It is 4 football fields long. 4. It's going to be great. It's going to be 7 nights of Eastern Caribbean cruise, folks. We're going to start off in Orlando, Florida, of course. We're going to go to Coco Cay, Bahamas. It's a private island just for the Wonders of the Sea ship. Then we're going to St. Thomas. And then we're going to St. Martin. It's going to be fantastic. Now, it's going to be, of course, Tony Ocean and the main event band. It's also going to be my buddy Marty and Michael and the boys from Mojo's Jukebox. I'm really excited about that. And number 1, Seventh Heaven, man. You can't beat Richie and the boys, Nick and Adam and everybody. They do an incredible job. They started this cruise for the Chicago music scene about maybe 15 years ago. So they've been selling out every time they go on this cruise. Everybody looks forward to it. And me and Richie have been talking to Stan for about maybe 2 years, saying, let's get on this cruise. Let's do this. And again, early this week or 2 weeks ago, me and Mike Restivo, the other guitar player from Mojo's Jukebox, we met with Richie at his home, and we actually put it down on paper, and we actually going to do what we're going to do. So, which is kind of cool, because when Richie does these things with his bands, he's got a lot of rock bands, pop bands, which is fantastic. Hillbilly Rockstars, Leo and a good friend of mine, Leo, played it last year. And they got a lot of other great bands. Well, bringing in Tony Ocean is going to bring in a different vibe altogether, because we have a little bit older crowd. So maybe some of those people might enjoy a little Sinatra stuff. And then you got Mojo's doing the 60s, 70s, and 80s, keeping up with that. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. So it's $250 per person. A couple is $500. Now that will lock your room. That will hold your room. There's only 30 rooms left, folks. 30 Ocean View rooms left. But that's it. 30. So $500 locks it down. Final payments due October 1st. And you guys can make payments along the way. We're going to give you more information. Chicago Music Cruise. and my good friend, of course, also joining us on the main event band, of course, Danny Ramonde will be with us. Double T, Tony Toto. It's going to be a good time with the main event band. So we are very excited. All Inside Rooms books will add more rooms. Thank you, Joe. They're going to add some more rooms. So that's a good sign when the cruise people are adding more rooms. Now remember, this is through Seventh Heaven. This is not through Royal Caribbean. This is through Seventh Heaven. So it's very, very important. All right, Zoe, quiet. It's Zoe acting up again. So this is not like you can, if you book the cruise yourself and go onto that side, you won't be involved in the activities coming to see Seventh Heaven, coming to see Mojo's, coming to see, you won't be able to see us. Won't be able to see us if you book through Royal Caribbean. This is booked through Seventh Heaven Chicago Music Cruise. That's how it works. Richie and the staff, Mary and everybody, they do a great job. So book, book, book. All right. Let's get one more sponsor in before we bring up my good buddy Marty. Hey, folks, Gorelli Pavement Services. That's right. Gorelli knows the curb appeal for your home and business, largely affected by concrete and asphalt. Gorelli is here to help you keep asphalt looking brand new with prior maintenance, which includes seal coating, crack filling, or patching. They do a lot of residential work and driveways, folks. Call Laura or Bob today for free estimate at Gorelli Pavement Services. That's 815-271-5835. That's 815-271-5835. They service Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. Tell them Tony O sent you. That's Gorelli Pavement Services. All right. So great things going on, folks. It's beautiful outside. I hope you're doing well. Don't forget, next Wednesday, we got my good buddy Dino Manzella. He is the sound engineer for Seventh Heaven. He'll be joining us. We'll be doing his home next Wednesday as our guest. And rumor has it, we might have Loretta Remington from the Bad Reputation tribute to Joan Jett with us next Friday. So we're excited about that, folks. A lot more special guests coming up. Remember, this show is dedicated to the first responders. And it's all those wonderful people like you that watch the show, and we really do appreciate it. All right. So don't forget, folks, also May 24th will be at the Carnival Speakeasy. That's in the city of Chicago off of Fulton Market. That's Ocean's Rat Pack. That's going to be a great time. It's Wednesday, the 24th of May. June 3rd will be at the Vixen Theater in McHenry with Ocean's Rat Pack. June 4th, I'll be in the town of Elk Grove opening for the Grassroots. I'm excited. That's Tony Ocean, folks, and the Grassroots, June 4th. And a lot of good stuff still coming up. All right, so let's get to our good guest. My buddy Marty Hitzman. I've been playing guitar for I think he started back in 1980 playing guitar. He wrote over 100 different songs, had a record out called Missing You, made a nice write-up in Billboard magazine, which is very cool. And their band, Mistaken Identity, has been around for a long time, folks. Great pop, original and pop music as well. They play the circuit. They're fantastic. And they go on, they do a lot of the opening acts they do the opening slot for the band Chicago in the Midwest. So they're going to be going on the tour with that. We're going to be talking on that. We'll talk about the cruise. We'll talk about everything. So let's bring them on. Marty Hitzman. Marty's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Tony. How you doing?
Good, buddy. What's going on?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
Isn't that a song? I think that's a song. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Marty, thank you for being on, brother. Let's get right to the bottom. Where were you born, buddy?
Chicago, Illinois, man. Columbus Hospital, downtown, Lakeview.
You wanted to be near your mother. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did.
Right. Marty, you got a big family?
Big family, yeah. We got 5 kids and 14 grandchildren and 3 great grandkids.
Very, very cool. Marty, growing up as a kid, was there somebody who influenced you to become an entertainer, like guitar player? I mean, did you see somebody? Was it somebody in your family? Who was it to say, man, I want to do that?
Well, I can't remember the exact age, but I want to say somewhere around 5 years old. My brother turned me on to physical graffiti and Kashmir. For some reason, it just said, hey, man, I got to play guitar. And So I kicked and scratched and fought, and I think I bought an acoustic guitar at one time. My parents returned it. They're like, "You're not playing any music. We're not doing that." And maybe when I was 13 years old, my brother, for my birthday, actually bought me a guitar and an amp. And so there was something they couldn't take away because it was a gift. So,
Right.
so I would say, a big shout out to my brother, Mike. Wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be going here today.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you remember the first song you learned on guitar?
Totally easy. Smoke on the Water.
Smoke on the Water, right? That's in
Followed by Paranoid.
Followed by Paranoid. Marty, also, we have Mike Restivo watching, saying, don't forget, folks, May 27th. Forgot about that, folks.
Shows.
The Belmont Sheffield Music
That's right.
Fest. Mojo's Jukebox will be there outside 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm excited for that one. Marty, we got Marty Hitzman from Mistaken Identity, folks, and Mojo's Jukebox. Marty, do you play any other instruments?
We all dabble in, a little bit of drums, a little bit of bass, a little bit of keyboards, but mainly guitar.
10 years. Now, you started in 1980. How did Mistaken Identity come about?
That's so I believe that the prior band Mashuda, our drummer Mike Manicky, he was in college and running out of time for doing things, and so I had split off with Joe Frey, our drummer, and our keyboard player from Mashuda. I don't know if you remember Mashuda, but we used to warm up for you in Broken Heart.
Yeah. So Mashuda was great. Yeah. Very cool. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun time. So Joe and I hooked up with our keyboard player from Mashuda. We had our friend Milo join us, and I think Milo couldn't remember more than 7 or 8 songs. You put one in and another one fell out the back end. And so we had our first gig at my brother's block party in Hanover Park. And I asked Mike and Paul, who was our bass player from Mashuda also, and then a good friend of ours, Val Line, now Polchinski, to come out and fill in the show. So we played our 7 songs we knew, and then kind of all the songs that Mike and I and Paul all knew. We played a 3-hour set, and I think it was July of '87, and that Mistaken Identity was born. We started in '86.
How did the name come about, Marty? How did the name?
Joe Frey named us.
He came up with a name.
He said he always wanted to have a Mistaken Identity.
Yeah,
so
Joe's a great drummer. Yeah, he's also the drummer in Mojo's as well. So
right.
Joe's fantastic. All right. So back then, let's talk about back then. 80s, 90s, bands were out there. You had to play the clubs. I think back then it was more an event. More people came to see the bands. Do you see now, and now that it's 2023 over here, Marty, and you've been doing it so long, you see more and more people are coming out more like a social event. It's not as big as a deal as it was at one particular time, or am I just crazy?
Yeah, you're probably right, but we still get some regular friends that come out. Like, for instance, I know Jim Kazaris and Liz Kazaris now. They come out to every Mistaken Identity show and really appreciate it. Appreciate that. We have some other people who come out regularly, but yeah, I think it's a social event. I think you almost have to book it as a reunion to get people to come out.
People to come out or something. Yeah,
maybe we should cater it. Who knows?
Yeah, it's tough now. If people never heard of Mistaken Identity, if they haven't, give me some songs that you think that people would like. And what kind of songs do you pick? And who picks the songs in the band? Do you and Mike sit there, or does everybody decide what songs you're going to learn?
I think we all pick them out. Mike usually comes up with a base set. And then, we've added songs over the time, and it kind of differentiates the set based on who's coming out. They'll do gigs when I'm not available. Sometimes we have a female singer, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have, a different bass player. Sometimes we have a different drummer, so truly a Mistaken Identity. So really just kind of varies. A lot of the songs are 80s songs, Nothing But a Good Time, Think I'm in Love by Eddie Money, Summer '69 line, those kind of
The,
things. And
the standard, the basic, yeah, the basic standards that people love from the '80s, which is fantastic. You're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Marty Hitzman from Mistaken Identity. Real quick, folks, we time for another sponsor. Let's not forget our good buddies from Roy McCampbell, attorney at law out of Rosemont, Illinois, a statewide law practice that is client focused and results driven. Call Roy McCampbell at 708-275-4264. And don't forget Laura Ocean Solutions, increasing profits while reducing credit card fees. You'll never have to shop again with Laura Ocean Solutions. All right, Marty, Mistaken Identity. You wrote a lot of original stuff, over 100 songs. When you write songs, how many songs would actually be original? How many songs would be covers in a Mistaken Identity show?
It just depends. Like when we're with Chicago, we try to play, like 50-50. I think right now we're probably 70-30 for this next few shows we'll be doing. But we add as many as we can, or as how much time we got to fill, and it depends on the audience. We'll throw several originals in, but might not be more than 5 or 6. If we're doing like a 3-hour show.
3-hour show. Marty, when you write original songs, are they based on true experiences, or how does those come about?
Loosely. Sometimes, there's a couple of songs that were based on real experience, but most of them are loosely based or just completely fictional.
Well, tell us about this Missing You song. The Billboard gave you a nice review. How did that come about? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I had moved out to Southern California, to Yorba Linda in 1990, and I actually didn't go out there to play music. I took a job in sales, selling like accounting and tax services. And one of our clients back then, who's actually a very good friend today, Howard Ong, he was a dentist, and he was banking at Union Bank. And, he'd never heard me play guitar. I just talked about it. And so he was talking to his banker, and he said, "Oh, you gotta hear Marty. He's awesome. Go play with him." And so I get this call from this girl, Emily, and she says, "Oh yeah, Howard says you're a great guitar player. I want you to come out and audition for the band." And I was like calling Howard going, "I don't want to play music anymore." So I did it anyway. And she was doing an album, and they needed a ballad. Like it was all kind of 80s rock. Sure. She actually did another song I wrote with another band called Shattered Glass. But we did 2 songs that I wrote, but Missing You Again, I actually wrote that we needed a ballad. Nothing was working. I was actually driving to a sales appointment, and it popped into my head. And I was dating this girl in Phoenix, Arizona. And I was like, I canceled the appointment. It was, when you had a mobile phone on your car, it was in the car, you had to click it up. And I called the appointment and said, "Hey, can we reschedule?" And I went home and I penned the song in like 10 minutes. No other song has been done like that ever. But
you know what? It's amazing when you write songs, because sometimes you never know how they come by, which is kind of cool to get that. Did you play gigs in California? What was it like compared to gigs in Chicago?
Way different. I feel like the music scene in Chicago was better. The scene out there was chaotic. Especially playing like Coconut Teasers or doing like a Whiskey Go-Go show on an off night or something like that. Yeah. But there were regular gigs too. There were some cool bars out there. I can't remember the exact name, but it was in like West LA or something like that, where you could like walk off the stage on through the crowd on tables. Unfortunately, the place was so damn big, like you couldn't fill it.
It would be cool if it's all filled. Right. Marty, being in the business, were you married? Are you married? Were you married? How does that all work?
I was married for about 8 years, but been divorced.
Well, let me ask you something. I ask everybody that's in musicians, when you're a musician and you're working 9 to 5, and then your Fridays and Saturdays, you're out gigging. How does that work with, look, I'm on wife number 4. So Marty, it's not easy, right? It's not easy. How do you keep a relationship sometimes when, hey, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this because I'm working. How does that? How do you balance that?
I mean, like I've been dating my girl Lisa now for my woman, not girl, my woman Lisa for 8 years on Sunday. So
Hey, happy
she's
anniversary! Happy anniversary!
yeah, thank you. She's completely supportive and loving, and she's there as a true partner. And I think that's the way you do it. I mean, like, no offense to my ex-wife or anything like that. I think we just were indifferent towards each other. It actually had nothing to do with music. You know, she was
Well, you know
fine
what?
with
And
that.
I believe that. Especially, I noticed that with Mojo's. Their girlfriends or wives do come out. They support. They're there. Mindy supports Michael like crazy,
Yep.
and Lisa supports you like crazy, and Joe, his wife, everybody. So I mean, it's very cool, and I think that's what makes the band a lot successful too. So you don't have to worry about the backlog. Oh shit, I can't play tonight because this, blah blah blah. So that's kind of cool. Mistaken
Involve them.
identity. Yeah, well, there you go. You have to. Well, how did the whole you've been doing opening for Chicago, the band for last couple of years? How did that all come about?
Oh, that's all Mike
Yeah,
Restivo. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He works with the management there. He's been working with the management for, I think 30, 35 years. So, um, and we appreciate you, Mike. Thank you for all you
Mikey,
do.
you know what?
And
And
thank you
we're
for
good. And
involving us.
Mojo's doing a show in Iowa with Chicago, so I'm excited about that. But Marty, what was your feeling the first time you did it, opening for Chicago? Do you remember where the audience, how many people, and what was the
Um,
feeling like?
I think there was 3,500 people. It was at the Riverside Theater in
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. I'm probably getting this wrong. I think it was about May of 2017. If I'm right, I could be off. But like for me, I was pumped and excited. Loved being there. Lisa was there. She was super supportive. The band had a great time going in. It was actually the original lineup of Mistaken Identity from back in '87, minus our keyboard player. And the only thing I was nervous about was our lead singer Val. I was fine, but I was like, man, is she going to be okay? And how do we bail her out if she does? So really, that was.
Well,
But it's been exciting every time.
if people haven't done it and performed in front of a live audience, that's one thing, a big audience like that. Second of all, you got Chicago, the band, and people, they talk, hey, if the band wasn't any good, you guys still wouldn't be doing it. And you've been doing it for a long time. So Mike has got to make sure that you guys keep booking again. And that's fantastic that you guys do that, Mistaken Identity. Marty, do you have a favorite type of music? I mean, if you were listening to something, do you remember? I mean, what is it do you like? I mean, some of the songs you play, you guys like them, obviously, but do you have a typical song or a band that's your favorite? How does that work?
Well, I mean, obviously, like because it influenced me playing guitar, it was Zeppelin has just always been at the top of my list. Any like the '80 hair bands, are fantastic. Bon Jovi, Poison. Some of the I listen to a lot of bubble punk, but I don't know half of their names. Like the Blink 182s and and all the rest. But yeah, my favorite's still '80s rock, '80s and '70s rock.
Marty, what do you think of the music today?
Is there music today? I think
I
we're
don't think
playing
so.
music, movies,
Yeah.
any TV shows, they're all redone. Like,
It's all gone. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't feel it, and especially if you got a young person that might come up to you and say, "Marty, man, I'd like to get into this business." What would you say to them right now? If a 19 or 20-year-old kid, someone came up to you and said, "Marty, what advice can you give me?" Would you tell them to stay the fuck out of the business, or what would you tell them to do?
no, I would tell them, hey, man, try to do it a little more old school. Play your stuff. I'm not against tracks. I think tracks are fine. You get used to doing those because it fills in sound.
Uh-huh.
And then also, be an entertainer. Like, have fun in doing it or don't do it. Have a good time. Smile, laugh, but learn your craft too, for God's sakes.
And it takes a character to get up in front of people. It takes a character to learn an instrument. That's one thing. You're in your room, you're blasting, you're sounding great, but to get up in front of people, and that's not easy to do. And there's a lot of people that do it out there, and some of them do it very well. Some of them just get by. Some do what they have to do. I mean, but look at the bands music that we're playing with Mistaken Identity, with Mojo's, even with Seventh Heaven, with the music they do. If you listen to it, it's almost like you have to be a jukebox now. for the audience.
Mojo's
Oh.
Jukebox.
Excuse me. But also, all the bands that we're playing are still popular today.
Yep.
I mean, look at Journey. As much as we hate doing Don't Stop Believing, look at that song. Every time you hit that keyboard, down, 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 the place goes ballistic.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah,
It's familiar.
I mean, it's just crazy, and it's fantastic. Marty Hitzman from Mistaken Identity, folks. So we got another sponsor. Let's say hello to our good buddies from Don Esteban Cigars, Tarpon Springs, Florida. Javier, give him a call, 727-366-7536. Hand-rolled cigars delivered right to your home. Let's now forget Trico Hair Experts, recreating great hair days. Carmela and Anthony from Rosemont, 773-999-7888. Marty Itzman from Mistaken Identity and Mojo's Jukebox. Guys, you can see us on the Tony Ocean Show Facebook page, on the Mo Carrara Facebook page. We're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, and we're also on the Ocean's Pit Facebook page. So, guys, share the show right now. Let everybody know what's going on. My good buddy Marty Hitzman. Marty, we're talking about a cruise that we're doing together. I'm excited about that. I mean, it's going to be fantastic. January 7th to the 14th. Just to be involved on the cruise thing is great. Just to be involved with Seventh Heaven is an honor to be asked, because that band is number one in the city. Go Suburbs compare, that to me, they're the number one, and what they do. And Richie, and they have a crew, and they have a system that works, and there's a lot of work. If you look on the cruise thing that they sent me, they sent a brochure, which I'm going to send it to you guys. They have like 25 crew members. So they can do like 3 shows in one day, because the crew leave one and they go set up the other, and they set up the other. It's just a machine that works, and it's fantastic. So I'm honored that Richie asked us to come on. So we're excited about that. You played a cruise before, Michael, ever? I mean, Marty?
Never played a cruise. Been on a cruise, never played.
Yeah, well, that's very good, man. We got Alan. How you doing, Alan?
Karaoke.
What happened?
I sung karaoke on a cruise, but never.
There you go, and you won the prize. Kathy, how you doing? Mike Restivo, Tony Toto. Alan, how you doing? Alan and Lena booked the cruise. They're going to be with us, so we're excited there. We have a lot of people coming. It's great. Also, they're at Wrigley Field. Go Cubs! If you're a Cub fan. Stella, how you doing? Marty, your buddy Ron, Jordan says hello, if I'm pronouncing that right. Jornd.
Hey, how you doing, Ron Jordan?
There you go. He says, hi, Marty. Lillian, how you doing? Loretta Remington, bad reputation. Joan Jett, watching, folks. Wait till you see that band. They got, I think, Laurie Coots used to be in Bitch and Tough Love, and they're doing all tribute to Joan Jett, which is pretty cool. So Stella, how you doing again? Emo from Florida. It's a lot of good stuff. We got Marty Hitzman, of course, from Mistaken Idea. Marty, I'm going to throw a couple of guitar players at you.
Okay.
And you're just going to give me a quick thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. Let's go to number 7, Ace Frehley. In the middle. Okay. How about Rick Nielsen, Cheap Trick?
I love the band, but.
Okay. Let's go to George Harrison, Beatles.
Oh, man, I'm striking out here.
How about let's go to Keith Richards, Rolling Stones? Alex Lifeson. From
definitely a thumbs up, man.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that one was going to be good. Michael Schenker.
Love Michael Schenker.
You love them, but I love them in UFO, man. I love that band. They're fantastic. Let's go to Eric Slohan Clapton.
He's a classic, man. He's got to be a thumbs up.
Jeff Beck.
Oh, wait, can I go a little higher?
Yeah, Jeff Beck. So here's the question I'm going to ask you, which I ask all guitar players. You have Jeff Beck and you have Jimmy Page. Since you're a diehard metal, love Led Zeppelin, 2 different guitar players, but who would you say is better? I mean, they're 2 different techniques, obviously, but obviously your favorite's Jimmy Page over Jeff Beck, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think that people really appreciate or understand, the slop from Jimmy Page. It was meant to be there. It wasn't accidental or it wasn't something missed. Like as a like seasoned guitar player, a totally structured guy, I would like include like Steve Vai or Satriani or Yngwie Malmsteen in there too. Yeah. Like Beck is way up there. in that structure. But like Jimmy Page, just I don't know, he has
He's
something.
the guy.
To me.
Let's go to Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, Jimi Hendrix is awesome too. I mean, like,
Now, what did he make? Did he make like they make what 3 records or something?
it was it that many? Yeah. I mean, like,
And you know what? I mean, there's a guy. He was like James Dean. James Dean only made a couple movies, and he's known all over the world. Let's go to okay, Jimi Hendrix. Okay, ahead of his time, right? 1969, 68. You know, the whole guitar with their teeth and burning it all. How about Slash? Slash from Guns N' Roses.
I like Slash. I like Slash. I give him a thumbs up.
I like him too. I think he's good. And we're going to the top of the list here. Eddie Van Halen. Yes? No?
No.
Okay, there you go.
Come on, he's a thumbs up.
Were you a Van Halen fan or a Van Hagar fan? I was a Van Hagar fan.
I listened to them both equally at different times in my life. You know, that first Van Halen came out in what, 76, 77. I was probably 10 or 11 years old. You know, in the Van Hagar era, you know, now I'm dating girls. So, you know, 5150, you know, struck me out at that time. So two different times, but still love some of the classic, love Beautiful Girls from Van Halen. Like to me, one of the greatest all-time classics. I even transposed it in high school for music theory class for the concert band. So,
there you go. So obviously, do you read music too? Obviously, right, Marty?
I read music, but very poorly. Like if you slap down a song in front of me, I will go write the chords on top and then play it.
Okay, there you go. Well, that's fantastic stuff. I mean, who's the guitar player now would be the equivalent? Is there equivalent of a Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen out there now?
God, I don't know. You know, I haven't stayed up with music. You know, you get into your little riffs and genres and you don't see a lot, but there's this great guitar player. What the heck was that? I think it was from Darkness. I love that guy's playing. They had a song called, I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart. You know, like it's a goofy song, kind of like Queenish or something, but the guitar play from there is absolutely fantastic.
What did you think of Carlos Santana?
Oh, Carlos Santana is a classic. You know, I put him back in the like that Jimi Hendrix, you know.
Right. How about Brian May from Queen?
You know, he's another put your thumb up in the air higher.
I mean, the sounds that he gets are just unbelievable. I mean, he's a very original guitar player for his sound that he had. And probably after what he did you like Pete Townsend of The Who?
Yeah, I love Pete Townsend, yeah.
I thought he's fantastic too. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great guys out there that's still playing, still doing what they're doing. I mean, Prince was a great guitar player too.
He was a good everything player.
Yeah. I'm not much of a Prince fan, but he was great. You know what I thought was very underrated, is very good too? Mike Campbell from Tom Petty. He was a great guitar player too, very to the point. He plays, you know, the guitar players out there that just play what they need to play.
Melodic guitar players, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they put the right little touches in there, and that's fantastic. Were you, so this is fantastic. Yeah, but I can't think of anybody out there now that's like plays fantastic and guitar players anymore like there used to be. There's going to never, there might be when we're gone, another Jimi Hendrix or a Jimmy Page or anything like that. But I don't know. It'd be very interesting.
You know, there's so much hip hop music and things like that that's being played, or, you know, R&B that you just don't, that's not the style of things that go, you know, why you need some flash guitar player. So I think that's why you just don't hear that.
You don't see it that much. Marty Hitzman from Mistaken Identity, folks. Also in my new band, Mojo's Jukebox. Mojo's going to be at Sheffield, Belmont and Sheffield on May 27th, Festival Outside. We're going to be in Iowa with Chicago, I think, on the 13th of May. And we're doing the Seventh Heaven Cruise the 7th and 14th of January 2024. Marty, when is the next Mistaken Identity show?
Next Mistaken Identity show will be May 6th at Shoeless Joe's in Schiller Park. I believe that's a 7:30 start time. Hope to see a bunch of your people out there and a bunch of ours.
It'll be fun. One last question, Marty. I know you're busy. What keeps a band together? But you guys have been together a long time. Now you're basically the same core of the same band. You got some people in and out, but what keeps it together, you think? What keeps the band together?
You know, honestly, I think it's love. I think we love each other like brothers, and I think that's what keeps it together. And that's why, when somebody gets mad and they leave and quit or something, they come back, because we love playing. We just don't enjoy playing together. We love each other's people, like
And Marty, what is a digital marketing? What do you do? What is the digital thing that you
well,
actually do?
my day-to-day job is I manage a marketing department for an IT company called Empist. If you need any IT help, call Empist.
Okay, so they're good at that. Very good.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What's your day-to-day thing? What do you do for the company?
Well, like I manage a team of creative people who are either doing things in email marketing, um, creating billboards, writing um, flows and things out, pay per click, like advertising, digital advertising, blog writing. We have our own podcast, too, called Tech 1-2 by Empist. We actually have a podcast studio, so it's pretty cool.
I seen the
We got to
picture.
have you in there one day.
Yeah, that was very, very cool. Marty, these days, one last one, I have to tell you this, because everybody at one time when we first started was always get that record deal, put out the records. The record labels are gone. They're gone. There's no support now. So what do? You put a new song, you put it on Spotify, and these guys can make billion hits and they become superstars overnight.
Yeah, I haven't figured that part out. I know how to record it. We've got our own music equipment here. I think there's a vocal mic back there. But I haven't figured out how to get the numbers. I'm sure it's investing money into it. It's always about that. When I did Missing You Again with Emily, we had like 85 grand that we were throwing towards the record stations. We were on the secondary charts in the top 33 at one time. And coming off of those, was on the AC Gavin charts. But I mean, like it's money. How do I distribute this and get this out to people so they can hear it? Because you need volumes. You need volumes of listeners.
Absolutely. Last question, Marty. What's the biggest audience you ever played to, and where was it?
I'm not sure. I think it was 8,000 in Memphis. With Mistaken Identity last October, but it also might have been in April at Moline TaxSlayer Center. I just don't know what the TaxSlayer might have been a little larger, but
8,000 is pretty cool, man, to get out there. And, especially if they dig what you do, and especially if they like what you guys do. Ladies and gentlemen, Marty, where can they book you guys, Mistaken Identity, if they want to get a hold of you? What's the website? How does that work?
Mistaken ID 1986.com, or you can hit us up at Facebook, fb.com/Mistaken ID 1986. Yeah.
That's great. Marty, thank you for your time, my brother. Look forward to some Mojo's dates, and congratulations for Mistaken Identity. It just goes to show, folks, that they don't give up. They're still out there. They're still playing. And I noticed that when you guys play, you really do enjoy it. And that's something that's not like a job to you guys. And you really give it all, man. I like, do you like the microphone thing? That's pretty cool. You do.
Oh yeah. I use it's, especially when you're in that environment, you're moving away and you're like, oh crap, the microphone's back there.
Yeah. Well, I remember the first time I seen that, I think it was either Sammy Hagar. I seen Peter Gabriel do it on videos and stuff, but I don't know how many people actually did it. But one last guitar player, Neil Sean.
Oh, fantastic.
Right?
Although he's a little heady today, isn't he? He's like,
he's still in his own way. Fantastic. All right, Marty Hitzman, thank you for your time, brother. Mistaken Identity.
Thanks, Tony.
Give my best to Little Lisa. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you, my buddy. Marty Hitzman, ladies and gentlemen. Mistaken Identity and Mojo's Jukebox. Hey, folks, you're watching Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Hey, Marty, you can stay on if you want. Armando's Supermarket out of Elgin, Illinois, 925 Liberty Street. Buy local and shop local. That is Danny Mazzi, folks. And don't forget Crash Champions Collision Auto Repair. Mikey and Gigi for all your collision auto repair needs. That's crashchampions.com. Holy cow. Isn't that cool? Thank you, Mike Restivo. Thank you. That was Ralph Muccio. He does look like Ralph Muccio. I should have mentioned that. He does look like Ralph. Very much so. All right. Another thing about the cruise, folks, January 7th to the 14th, they have the drink packages, When you book the cruise, your room, obviously, and your meals. I don't think they got like 30 restaurants. I think I don't know how much stuff they got. Remember, this Royal Caribbean Wonders of the Sea, folks, is 4 football fields long. Long. It's huge. A lot of stuff, a lot of activities, a lot of fun going on. But then there's also something that you have to do called a drink package. Now, a lot of people might get the drink package, or other people might just buy their drinks and pay as they drink. A lot of our fans are big drinkers. Now, folks, used to be $36 per person a day covers you all your drinks. Special deal with this Royal Caribbean. If you go to Chicago Music Cruise, it's only going to be $27.99 per person. So that's a big saving of 20% with a drink package. If you're a drinker, get the drink package. You don't have to worry about it, folks. Don't have to worry about it. And there's a tipping thing. People said, Tony, what about the tipping thing? I was talking to Richie about this thing, about the tipping thing. What he told me, and I advise people to do it too, it's hard to tip somebody when you don't know what kind of service you're going to get. I would say wait till the end of the week and give what you're going to give. My opinion only. Or you can pay the $21.99, whatever the hell it is. Whatever it is, I don't know the actual price, but I think that's something that you might not be happy with the service, but I guarantee you, when you've got Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines and you've got the Wonders of the Sea, and it's the biggest ship on the water, you're going to get the best top-notch service. And I'm going to tell you something. I've learned this at weddings, and I've learned this at cruises, or I learned this in resorts. First day you're there, you find out one of the people that work at the bar, one of the guys, the pool guys, whatever it is. Tip the guy. Tip the guy something. Now, we went to Mexico, me and Laura, we get $25 a day. I gave this guy. And he made sure that we had the seat with the right seat by the sun. It was the right thing, man, boom. Also, when you tip the bartender and stuff, folks, you're in line of people. This guy sees you because he remembers, what do you need, Mo? What do you need, Tony? Take care of these people. They work very hard at their jobs. And any service job is very difficult, so you need to do it. Tip early when they take care of you. Thank you, Michelle. Robert the General, how you doing, my friend? What's up, Tony? The Voidcast in the house. I hope you're doing well. Today is Happy Tongue Out Therapy. Stick your tongue out day today. Boy, they even got stick your tongue out days, folks. Today is National Garlic Day. Not much of a garlic guy. Being Italian, full-blown, you would think. I'm not even a wine guy, so how screwed up is that? But it's the National Garlic Day, folks. Absolutely. Our prayers go out to, don't forget, Alyssa's Angels, the girl out there. The prayers to her, and just horrible when this sickness hits these kids, folks. Hey, folks, 52 years ago today, Evel Knievel. You know, we had Kristen Knievel on last week, the granddaughter of Evel Knievel and the daughter of Robbie Knievel. Of course, she's a great singer in her own right, her and Johnny. Anyway, 52 years ago, Evel Knievel cleared 129 feet. That's 19 Dodge cars, a vehicle. The Harley Davidson's Iron Motorway in Ontario. I used to love watching Evel Knievel jump on the sports stuff, and just fantastic. You know, first real superhero, right? First real superhero. All right, folks. I love this quote sent in by Patty from Lyons, Illinois. And Patty says, ignoring evidence of an election fraud because the election is already over is like ignoring a murderer because the victim is already dead. Let that sink into you for a little bit. Let that sink into you. Tony, that's okay. Never got my phone. That's okay. No worries. We did a cruise and we were so Bregas, and we'll give you the best. It's fantastic. There you go. Carl Doty, St. Jude's himself, of course. Look forward to doing his event in September this year. Carl says, I don't believe in tipping. I believe in over tipping. Very, very important. Don met Chicago at the Bone Doctor. Well, I hope, Marion, I hope you're doing great, honey. And Don, I hope you're doing great. Very important. I love that quote. It really is, folks. A 35-year-old. Now, look, you hear all stuff. We were just talking about this on mainstream media. Whether it's Fox was just got accused of lying on the air, which I'm sure they've done it for many years. I think, and then of course I'm not a big CNN guy, but it seems like, and this is just my opinion, and some people either going to agree with it, some people aren't. But I believe that these mainstream media news outlets, whatever they are, I think they're told what to say by their sponsors and by their CEO. There's some stories that make the news, and there's some stories that ain't. Look at this, that don't make the news and should make the news. 35-year-old and a 15-year-old, 35-year-old and a 13 and a 15-year-old, excuse me, was arrested for beating up people at a gas station. Come on, man. What's wrong with these people? Oh, man. Just crazy what's going on in this world. It's scary. It really is scary, folks. If you're big baseball fans, you know the Yankees are doing fantastic. Cubs seem like they're turning it around a little bit. I'm not sure what the White Sox are doing, but speaking of baseball, the Cincinnati Reds, folks. The last time they played to a small crowd was 2019. They played in front of 9,000 people. At a ballpark, that's not a lot of people. They've just played the lowest attendance for the Cincinnati Reds, 7,375 people when they played against the Tampa Bay Rays. They beat them. But 9,000 was the smallest number of people they played to, and now they just went to 7,000. How many people are still going to ball games? I don't know. It's like with Wrigley Field, whether the Cubs suck or win, the people are still going to go. I mean, I think they're more going to the field more than they're going to the Cubs game. Absolutely. Vegas remembers you, Marion? I'm sure they do. You and Don, I hope you guys are great. All right. And let's give a big kudos to our good friends from the Rosemont Police Department. According to ABC, they started a stolen car chase on Balmoral Avenue off the 294, chased them into Schiller Park. They caught them, stolen car, but kudos to the police officers, of men and women in Rosemont, and you know me, kudos to all the great police officers. Back to blue. It's very, very important. I believe that, and even though our new mayor wants to defund the police department, it's just sad what's been going on with our police officers, men and women, who have been fighting and helping us for many, many years to protect our town and protect our city. It's just horrible the way it's been. We got a bunch of birthdays, so let's throw them at you, folks. Miguel Cabrera, of course, of the Detroit Tigers, turns 40 years old. Sounds like he's been around forever. I thought he was a lot older than that. Barbara Hale, remember, he used to be on the TV show Perry Mason, celebrates a birthday. Steve Lombardi, better known as the Brooklyn Brawler, for all you WWFWE wrestling fans. I used to love the Brooklyn Brawler, managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan. Tim Curry, Rocky Show Picture Show, celebrates a birthday. James Manfield, blonde bombshell, 90 years old today. James Manfield. How about Eddie Kramer, keyboard player for Jimi Hendrix? Been around many, many years. That's Eddie Kramer, celebrates a birthday. Greg Maddox from the Atlanta Braves turns 57 years old. Our good friend Mary DeHart. Mary, if you're listening, happy birthday. Skip Graperis, folks, great entertainer. You gotta love him, man. Connor Quinn, the son of Julie and Dennis Quinn. Happy birthday, Connor. You gotta love it. Dusty Springfield, I only wanna be with you, celebrates a birthday. Ox Baker, another wrestling fan from the old WWF days, celebrates a birthday. How about Frank Vincent from the movie Casino? He was on Sopranos. What a great actor. Of course, he passed away. The great Frank Vincent celebrates a birthday. Dick Sargent from Bewitched, or Dick York. This is Dick Sargent. I think he was the second Second, Darren. I think Dick York was the first one. If he's going to defund the police, he should start with a security detail. Richard, thank you so much for that. And Richard Hamlin, thank you for all the birthdays and stories that you send Ocean's Pit. I'm sick and tired of Rosemont PD to find my stolen truck last year. Norwich didn't care. So Norwich didn't help you, but Rosemont did. So there you go. Good, Lillian. I'm glad that worked out for you. Jackie Gleason, the great one, celebrating a birthday. How sweet it is. Danielle Santoro, of course, Santoro family couple. I think Teresa booked a cruise, so they'll be joining us in January. Very good. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny Guerrero. Yeah, don't demoralize the kids. Johnny's going to be at the Moretti's and Hoffman Estates with the dueling pianos today. I start at 8 o'clock. I might stop by and see John. Great musician, entertainer. I seen him last week in Woodstock after our show at the Woodstock Country Club. Him and Kristen Knievel, they do a great job. And hopefully we're trying to get him some work with Ron Onesti and everybody. Packy's in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing? All right, what else we got here? My good buddy Captain Rick celebrates a birthday. Step up, Captain. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. We had Marty Hitzman on, of course, from Mistaken Identity. He was going on the road with Chicago. And we're going to be with Chicago and Iowa on the 13th of May. Mojo's Jukebox opening for Chicago. I'm excited about that. But check out Mistaken Identity and Mojo's Belmont and Sheffield summer concerts on May 27th. It's going to be fun being out there. No, Rosemont didn't help. CLPD found it after I called predicaments from red light violations occurred on my own detective. Oh, well. Lillian, at least I hope you got your truck back, and that's all that matters. Too kind, my friend. Johnny, we got to support each other, brother. We got to support local establishments. We got to support local entertainers. I don't know how much we have of that. I know we do in our crew. We'll just do benefits for people. All the musicians show up. You have to support each other because that's all we got, man. You take that away, we're really in a lot of trouble, folks. Jake Weiner, Jake and Murray from EMG Entertainment, great guys. Jake posted this on his page. It said, always look at the fool in the deal. If you can't find it, if you don't find it, that means it's you. And you're the fool. There it is, Mary. How you doing? Mary Grievous, folks. There is the website, folks, to book the cruise, chicagomusiccruise.com. Talk to Mary. It's going to be good. 30 rooms. We got more. We're going to get more. I know it's going to be great, man. It's just in April. We just announced this, 3 weeks ago. Hot ocean. Frozen, the Royal Caribbean, Wonders of the Sea, the biggest ship on the water. Florida, St. Martin, Bahamas, St. Thomas, Seventh Heaven, Mojo's Jukebox, Tony Ocean, the main event band, Danny Raimondi, Tony Toto. Woo! We're going to have a ball, man. 1 week of fun, January 7th through January 14th. 7 great nights. Can't wait. Going to be a lot of fun. All right. And another great quote by the great P.T. Barnum, one of the greatest promoters of all time. There's a sucker born every minute and someone to always find them. Always watch out, folks, these deals. There you go, Mary. There it is. Any questions, call Mary, folks. Email Mary. There it is. Info, ntdvacations.com. Book it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's the big talk right now. It's the big talk everywhere. What's going on in this cruise. It's been going on for many years with Seventh Heaven. We're just honored and privileged and humbled to be on that cruise. It's going to be fun. Something great. Now, you've been hearing this on social media now for the last week. We're running out of time, but you know what? Let's skip this story. Forget this story. Forget it. I'm going to use it on Monday because it's too good to start talking when we're running out of time. David Gage. If you're listening, buddy, Dave was my sound man for many, many years through Jilly's. He's been sick for a long time. Cancer's hitting him hard, and I pray to my buddy, Davey Gage. I love you, brother. You've been a brother to me a long time. And we hope you get better, pal. Just get better. All right, it's time to go back to our final two sponsors, Patriot Funding Incorporated, commercial money lending at its finest when timing is everything, called Patriot Funding Incorporated. Dave Antonelli, Roselle, Illinois. Buy local, shop local, 630-675-4730. They have a lot of great stuff going. And we are come to the end of the hour, and you know what that means? It's time for Ace Hardware. Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, Warrenville. Remember to tell them, grill your ace off and get $20 off any grill purchase at the 4 following Ace Hardware stores: Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, and Warrenville. And tomorrow, which is the 22nd of April, if you go to Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, or Warrenville Ace Hardware, they're going to be grilling. They're going to be grilling burgers, brats, hot dogs, free grilling, folks. You can see some of those grills you might want to pick up. It's going to be great, folks. So go to Norwich, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, Warrenville. Go into Norwich and Des Plaines and say Melissa, and see Jackie and Raffaello. Tell them you heard it on Ocean's Pit. Remember, folks, grill your ace off and get a $20 off any grill purchase. Ace Hardware also has great small engine repair, handyman service, truck rentals, screen and window repair. How about those Ace points? They're fantastic. Remember, Ace Hardware has been helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Absolutely. Now, we're going to be back Monday, folks. Same time, same station. Again, I need to thank everybody who showed up at Positano's last night. What a great event of people, and it's just great. Again, Jerry Jams. Happy birthday to Jerry Jams' mom. Jerry, if you're listening, happy birthday to Mrs. Renda there. Happy birthday to Jerry Jams' mom. And so thank you, Jerry Jams. Thank you, Louis Pipes. Great job, Lisa P. last night. Anyway, tonight we'll be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg. That's an 8 o'clock hit with Jerry Jams. Tomorrow we'll be at Taverna on Division, 8 o'clock, outside patio with Double T, Tony Toto. And Sunday we'll be at the Des Plaines Theater for the annual St. Jude's benefit. A little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. Nick Sahajas and Phyllis Sahajas putting that all together. It's a 2 o'clock hit this Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oshows.com for tickets. Join us. $25. You can sit anywhere in the theater, and the money goes for St. Jude's. It's a good thing, man. All right, folks, remember, buy local, shop local, support live entertainment, support local establishments, and the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love. Be kind to everybody. We need it. We need to be kind to everybody, man. Life is too damn short. Guys, you have an incredible weekend. Go out and enjoy life. Peace and love. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick, the Piano Man Sahajas, take us out.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Thank you, Marty Hitzman from Mistaken Identity and Mojo's Jukebox. We're going to get the rest of those guys on this show as well. Have a great